The comments from President Trump were said on the fly in response to a question about the G20 from a reporter on board the presidential jet as it traversed the Atlantic Ocean back to the United States. And while his position might yet shift, it would follow similar actions by his senior cabinet officials, Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, to give South Africa a wide berth for official G20 meetings at the ministerial level.
You plan to attend the G20 summit this year in South Africa?
I don't think so, no. I think maybe I'll send somebody else because I've had a lot of problems with South Africa and they have some very bad policies. Very, very bad policies, like policies where people are being killed. A lot of people are being killed. So I think I probably won't.
Any updates?
I'd like to, but I don't think I will.
Well, I can answer that for the President.
After a tense public meeting in the Oval Office in May, President Ramaphosa later emerged after a closed-door session to speak to the media, and where he struck an optimistic tone on the possibility of President Trump coming to South Africa for the G20.
We also discussed the G20, and we stressed that the G20, having been formed by the United States, of course together with other countries, it's important that the United States should continue playing a key role in the G20, more particularly because I want to hand over the presidency of the G20 to President Trump in November. And I said he needs to be there. I don't want to hand over the presidency of the G20 to an empty chair. I want to hand it over to him sitting in that chair in November. And he is going to give serious consideration to it. In fact, I expect him to be coming to South Africa, and he, having realized the important role that the United States continues to play in international or multilateral formations or organizations like the G7 and the G20, and he having said, of course, the G7 would be much more impactful with the participation of the United States, as the G20 would be more impactful in global matters with the participation of the largest economy in the world. So my takeaway from that is that G20 participation by the United States is going to be happening. So we're particularly pleased with that.
SABC News also directly put the question to President Trump during this exchange in the Oval Office in May. If this Afrikaner resettlement issue is resolved, you're going to go into a room after this, you guys are going to talk. If it is resolved, what is the potential for the future-looking relationship between the United States and South Africa?
I mean, it's a little bit bad when you see a stadium with 100,000 people in it, because that means it's more than just a little movement. It's a pretty big movement in South Africa, so it has to be resolved.
But is there potential for the relationship moving forward?
I hope so.
You going to the G20 in November?
I mean, I'm not here for my health.
Ahead of the G20 Leaders Summit in November, another pressing issue for South Africa this week amid efforts to agree a new trade framework agreement with the United States as part of efforts to offset the imposition of a 30% tariff on most goods exported to the United States. That deadline looms large on Friday, August 1st. Shervin Bryce, please, SABC News, New York.